Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I'm going to go over the strategy that I used in order to defeat the Leviathan quest number 7 for the big bonus challenge for September. So keep in mind that this quest lasts 12 more days, but our boosters, which give all our monocolored blades strength, they only last 9 more days. So just keep that in mind, that if you wanted to use the boosters, you got to do it within the next 9 days. Don't wait for this quest until the last minute, otherwise you're going to lose the boosters and it's going to be a little bit harder. So let's go ahead into the enemy description here. So if we look at the top left corner when the game decides to load, it'll give us just a brief description of the enemy. So this sea monster absorbs magic attacks, meaning don't use a magic-based Keyblade like I almost did. I almost goofed to use my counterpoint, and essentially what that would have done is just I continually healed it rather than doing any sort of damage. And then it greatly lowers your strength while greatly boosting its defense. So what that means is that it's going to give you strength debuffs, and it's going to give itself defensive buffs. So what that means to me is that you're going to want to use an overwrite medal. So overwrite medals, remember that no matter what your strength is at, no matter what the enemy's defense is at, it's going to overwrite it so that it brings you to exactly the point where you want to be, and it's generally going to increase your strength to a set amount and decrease the enemy's defense to a set amount. It also has the Proud Mode condition of only special attacks requiring 1 or more engages allowed. So that means you shouldn't be able to use the overwrite stained glass medals because those cost 0 gauges. You can't use Kyrie A alone because she costs 0 gauges. You can't use Kyrie B alone because she costs 0 gauges. So it's just kind of a way of saying, hey, we're going to make you work a little bit extra in order for you to use your buffers. So the setup that I went in with was this. So let's go ahead and kind of explain the elements of this strategy. So the first thing is that we start with an HD Gula EX Plus, and the point of this is to overwrite. Again, we want our strength buffs to come back, and we want the enemy's defense to be as low as possible. So it's going to overwrite, and then that's really all it does for us. It's really more of a buffer to make sure that we get our buffs off. So that's the point of the HD Gula EX Plus. The point of the Kingdom Hearts 3 Lee/Axel is to copy the Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie A. So while we can't use Kyrie A alone, as long as we are copying her with an imitation or a copy medal that has more than 1 gauge, so we're looking at things like Kingdom Hearts 3 Lee, we are looking at Angelic Amber, we are looking at Riku Replica, HD Riku Replica. Those are all imitation medals that have a gauge cost of 1 or more, so as long as you put it in the right order, you're able to copy the Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie A and get the effect off. The next part of our setup past the Kyrie, which has second chance, again we need second chance just to revive ourselves, is going to be this Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie B, and while we can't use her effect, we are still able to make use of her Supernova attack, which gives us plus 5,000 upright metal strength. Now I know not a lot of people may have Kyrie B, but if you have something like Supernova plus Gula, that fits well, if not even better in this slot actually. So the whole point of Kyrie B is to give us that upright metal strength. It's essentially the same thing as like Gula, where you're giving yourself strength through the Supernova attack. The next part is Ultimate Form Sora. He's really just there for damage, honestly. Like I could see a lot of people subbing him out with something that's like speed, that has ground enemy defense minus 60. Or is it aerial? I'm not sure with this enemy, but essentially that medal is meant for damage. Lastly, and this is going to be kind of like a combo piece, where we have Angelic Amber with extra attack copying a Supernova plus Gula that also has extra attack. Because one of the main strategies that we're going to use is recovery buffing. This enemy inherently starts with a 15-hit blue counter, and remember that the Supernova Gula actually affects count. So he does 3 hits, meaning that with Angelic Amber having extra attack and also the medal itself having extra attack, that's minus 12 to that blue hit counter. So let's go ahead and show you all of this in play and how it all works. So before we actually go in, I actually had to kind of reset this video just a little bit because I accidentally hit start when my friend medal was Ultimate Form Sora. So actually we need that Supernova plus Gula, so that's why I'm kind of redoing this part. But now that we actually have the setup right, let's go ahead and hop in. Okay, so go ahead and use this chest if you need to recover any sort of gauges. And then we start and we can see the enemy has a 15-hit blue counter. It has the ability to absorb magic metal damage. and then it also has plus 15 general, upright, and reverse strength. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with this Gula, and the point of the Gula is to overwrite its defense buffs so that it's at -7 general defense, -7 upright defense, and then -7 speed defense. Next, we're going to activate this Kingdom Hearts 3 Lee/Axel, and the point of that is to get our Kyrie A activation off, to restore our gauges, to increase our general strength, decrease the enemy's buffs, or decrease the enemy's defense, that's what I mean to say. Decrease the enemy's defense, and essentially just get all the good perks of Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie A. Then we're going to tap here, and this ultimate form Sora, again, is mainly for damage. So one note that I want to kind of give right in the middle of this is that if you are using Supernova plus Gula or Kingdom Hearts 3 Kyrie B, you don't want to activate it until you're at a turn where you're going to be able to decrease that enemy's blue counter down to 0. So as of right now, we don't have that capacity, because with Angelic Amber and the Supernova plus Gula, that's only -12, and both of them already have extra attacks. So there's no way we'd be able to get that unless we just activated a bunch of random Supernovas, which we don't want to do right now. Alright, so this was strictly for damage. So then it's going to knock us out, and it's going to increase its defense again. So it's same strategy as before. Activate this, decrease its defense buffs, increase our buffs. Activate the Axel. This is going to restore our HP as well as give us the Kyrie buffs. Tap here, tap here, tap here. And from here, you should be able to activate the Kyrie Bs and the Supernova plus Gulas, because we know that between the Angelic Amber and the Gula, it's going to bring that counter down to 0, and we're going to be able to use recovery buffing. So for that part, you might not be able to exactly replicate my strategy, but the point is to keep track of the numbers, because you want to be able to activate Supernova attacks that give you metal strength buff on the turn where you know you're going to knock out that enemy. So we will activate Kyrie B here, and we'll activate Supernova plus Gula. And then we proceed just to deal damage. So, it's got 3 hits left. What we're going to do here, and this is again a little bit more personalized for me because I have like extra attack and stuff like that. We're going to tap here because extra attack only does 40% damage. And then we're going to activate the friend one, which is going to be at like 100% damage. It brings the counter down to 0. The enemy knocks us out, and then we have debuffed again. So we are at -15 upright metal strength, and then it is back at let's see. No, it didn't increase its defensive buffs, but it doesn't matter because we use Gula. We use Gula in order to fix up our buffs, get it set up so that when we activate the Kyrie A, we are good to go. And we just used recovery buffing, meaning that we maintained all the buffs from the previous turn. So you can see that plus 8,000 metal strength there. We maintained that from the previous turn. So from here on out, we just kind of slugfest the enemy and attack it as much as we possibly can. And there you go. So that was the strategy that I used in order to take out this Leviathan quest. Let me go ahead and actually show you the traits, because traits are important. Because the Ultimate Form Sora has ground, the Angelic Amber has ground, and then the Friend Metal also has ground on it. So let me go ahead and show you my traits real quick, so that you can get kind of a gist of the setup, like a full look at the setup that I used. So once our game loads up here, we will go to our equipment. If it'll load. And then we'll go ahead and show you the traits for our medals. So these are the traits, the most relevant ones being the ground enemy defense and the extra attack on the Angelic Amber. So I know this isn't exactly the setup for everyone. If you have any questions or if you want to get some quest help, by all means put a comment down below and I'll try my best to help you. If you want to give me a better view of how I can help you, go ahead and join the Discord for the Twilight Knights. That's my party. And then there's a specific tab for quest help where you can post your medals, post your Keyblade multipliers, and then myself or one of my party members might be able to help you figure out a setup that works best for you. But hopefully this is a strategy that works for some people. And that's the video for now. So as always, if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, again, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. But as always, everyone, until next time, take it easy.